Violent Night was harder for me because the responsibility of keeping the danger was all mine, maybe Tommy's as well. So that was hard. I mean, I was exhausted at the end of the day of Violent Night because I had to maintain that rage.
Great. This next question comes from Jana On Camera. Jana says, she asks, between the menu and Violent Night, what a year for you. Her question is, how do you go from a kind of dramatic character on the menu to the perfect comedic timing on Violent Night?
Well, luckily they're both in the comic area, you know. I mean, they both have comical elements to them, and they're both black comedies. You know, it's interesting that they're both black comedies, and they're both about privilege, which is really interesting that that's the tone in the movies that they're writing. Because we do have all these billionaires now who are trying to take over our social media, our government, and corporations that don't care about the environment. I mean, we are in a time where the middle class is disappearing. So I think these movies speak to that materialism, that privilege, those people wanting to keep us out. So there is that little bit of angst. I mean, I gotta say, Violent Night was harder for me because the responsibility of keeping the danger was all mine, maybe Tommy's as well. So that was hard. I mean, I was exhausted at the end of the day of Violent Night because I had to maintain that rage and channel stuff that, you know, that isn't always easy to bring up.
You accomplished so many of your dreams, and you've carefully chosen your characters and always stayed true to your beliefs and yourself. Is there anything else on your bucket list that you still feel the need to fulfill? Yeah, I mean,
I want to do a lot more historic pieces on Latin culture and Latin history because we've been here for 500 years and we've been here before that for thousands. So there's so many great stories to be told, and Hollywood's so afraid of period pieces, especially Latin history pieces. But I hope that Hollywood grows up and realizes what a rich culture we have to offer Hollywood entertainment.
Wonderful. The next one is, during your fireplace monologue, you rant about the haves and have-nots. Did you improvise at all there, or did you work with the director on that scene and other scenes? It seems like you have some one-liners that come across so naturally you might have just improvised.
We got to improvise a lot. I got to say, we would ruin a lot of takes because we start cracking each other up. I mean, you got Edi Patterson, one of the great improvisers, and Alex Hassell, and everybody was so funny, man. And I would have my own singers. And the great thing was when we would get Tommy Wirkola, who was at the Video Village, and he would start laughing out loud and ruin a take. That was chef's kiss.
You've recently spoken out on a letter to Hollywood and have always fought for diversity and to be represented in Hollywood. How do you think that you've impacted this change, and where do you think Hollywood stands right now on diversity and Latino representation?
Yeah, I think it's very important to speak out, especially people like myself who have a special platform. And I think we do make change. I see a lot of change in Hollywood, and I think writing these letters is important. I think speaking out whenever you can, it must be done. We can't be complacent. We can't expect somebody else to do it, and we got to do it together. And I think the change is coming. I want to get to 20% representation in front of the camera because we're 20% of the population, even though we over-index at 30% of the US box office and 30% of sports fans and 30% of streamers. I'll settle for 20% protagonists, not 2%, which is what we have now. 2% of protagonist leads are Latin, which is not close enough. I mean, white people are only 58.9% of the population, and they have 100% of the roles, so they're over-indexing there. They're overrepresented at 140%. So that's not okay. But you know, I'll settle for 20%.
Amazing. I see a lot of applauses happening there. So thank you for that honest answer.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time and your great questions.
Thank you, John.
Happy holidays and merry everything. Feliz Navidad.
Thank you.
Feliz Navidad.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.